just gonna like start the recording.
All right.
So while we're just sitting here figuring out what we're gonna do,
yeah.
then I'll be able to just cut it to the part where we actually start.
Also, then we can always just go back and listen to it and see if we enjoy what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
And it's not too dark and morbid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do your viewers enjoy the morbid side, or?
I don't know. They definitely enjoy it when people get scared.
Oh, they enjoy scared. Oh.
I put up videos of Cole, and he was playing Candles and SCP Containment Breach.
Yeah.
And he only lasted 5 minutes in SCP.
Cole's not exactly as strong-hearted when it comes to that stuff.
No.
So.
That's the reason why we did it.
Yeah.
And it was like within an hour, like there was like lots of hits on the video, and it was like just really quite good.
So, are you getting paid yet by YouTube?
Yes.
Nice.
I got my first payment last month.
Oh wow.
Yeah, a whole 10 cents.
A whole time. You know what? That's 10 cents that you didn't have before.
It's paying.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, all you need is.
All you need is hard work, and then eventually it'll pay off.
And if it's 10 cents today, what will it be tomorrow? Probably 11 cents, but still, 11 cents is better than 10 cents you had yesterday.
Well, I have no idea what I'm gonna be getting now. I can actually look.
Nice.
Because
So how do they pay you? Is it both subscription and view, or is it just one or the other?
so basically, when you get like a higher amount of subscriptions, they half of it, and they pay you like I think it's $1 per subscription or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, and they also pay you 3 cents per view. So
those people that have millions of views,
yeah,
they're making it big.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, actually, that's a lot lower than the last time I saw it.
Yeah.
Last time I saw it was at 8.
Oh wow.
Still making money.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Make money, fuck bitches. Isn't that the saying?
Yep.
Well, you've already made money, so. Ladies.
Like before, there was like no money at all. But the way that the YouTube is actually set up, it's sort of set up like capitalism.
Yeah.
It's the people that are large channels stay large channels, and the people that are small channels stay small.
And it's hard to do that rising in class or rising in position, but it's technically possible. So they can say, if
possible.
you work hard enough, you'll get to the big time. But it's not going to happen.
But basically, what's going to happen with the current YouTube is all the people that are like the large channels now, they're going to have to retire. But then all the other people that are small channels, they're going to go become them. And then they retire, and then the other people that are like the small channels are going to become the new big channels. So it's just going to work like that, sort of how the way jobs would work in our economy. Like
except I hope they don't outsource YouTubers to the French, because I'm not learning French.
Yeah.
Or the Dutch, or those damn Germans. It's okay, I'm German. I can say that.
To start going around freaking shipping off YouTubers.
Well, I'm sorry. Insert big name YouTuber here. I don't want to use names in case there's like problems with that.
It doesn't really matter.
Okay, so insert. I don't know what's that guy. I don't know. His name is. He like watches videos of other people and then like makes fun of them and whatnot.
I don't know.
Ray William Johnson.
Oh, okay.
So like Ray William Johnson has to go to like Finland now.
I believe he's the second most subscribed to person on
Somebody
YouTube.
beat him?
This website here actually gives all this.
I know for a while that he was top subscribed.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't remember who exactly was the top.
Because I know for a while he was top, but if somebody beat him, that's pretty impressive. That one that says PewDiePie?
Mm-hmm.
Good for PewDiePie.
Look at how many subscribers he has.
Oh, yeah. just out of the water on
But
this guy.
if-
Disney
if-
Collector? Never even heard of Disney Collector.
You see, look at this one, Smosh.
Yeah.
They have almost as much subscribers as PewDiePie. Like they're a little less.
Yeah.
But they're in 8th place while PewDiePie is in 1st, even though they have almost the same amount.
Yeah.
Just the way that their system works isn't really the greatest.
Wait, do they have more subscriptions than 7th place Blue Collection?
7th place Blue Collection? No, that's only 600,000.
Yeah. Compared to that 16, 93.8, 50.84. So they have more subscriptions and more views.
But they're 7th. I don't know how it works.
Yeah. That's okay, I guess.
I don't even see Ray William Johnson on here.
Yeah.
Huh.
Guys, he's off the list. Ah, college humor, great.
Oh yes. Oh.
So I started to get back into Full Metal Alchemist. I haven't seen that in a long time. I just saw it on Netflix. I'm like, you know what? That was a great show. So
Yeah,
I just started it like yesterday or something like that.
I've watched all of the Full Metal Alchemist series. I watched like the first one, the
Then
second
that
one.
Brotherhood or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they did a remake of the second one.
Oh, they remade it?
Yeah, they added more filler. They added more filler. They completed the story basically as well.
Nice.
And they also did 2 movies, I believe. 2 or 1, I don't remember
wow.
exactly, but I've watched those as well. And yeah, it was actually a really nice series. Like how they have a lot of the stuff, it's like it's actual alchemy. They actually did look at a lot of the alchemy and say, okay, this is actually what they would do. Well, in like fiction's sake.
Yeah.
But
Because theoretically, alchemy could exist, but it's never been proven to exist. So
the I don't remember who it was, but the guy, alchemist, you would call him a chemist now.
yeah.
He actually was trying to transmute, I believe it was iron into gold, or
Is
something
this
into gold.
Dr. John D or whatever?
I don't remember who it was. But while he was doing it, he created sulfur. And he found sulfur. And, it looks like gold. So he was trying
Doesn't
to...
smell like gold.
Oh yeah, and he was trying to sell it as, gold, but then people started going, this isn't gold. Why are you trying to sell me this? And it's like, it's gold.
Trust me, it's gold. Close enough.
But John D. That reminds me of the book, The Alchemist.
yeah, I believe they used John D in that book too.
Yeah, they did. He's the main antagonist.
Yeah.
He tries to take over the world and then destroy it. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, hopefully you don't want to go ahead and read the Alchemist series.
That was a really good series, though. I read the series.
I never got into it, but it from what I've been told about it, it sounds like a really good series.
Yeah, like I read the series twice before they came out with the 2 new books. So I read up all the way to the Necromancer.
Yeah.
I started the Sorcerer, but I never finished it because
How many books are there? 5?
I believe there's 6 now.
6 now?
There's the Alchemist, the
Sorcerer and Necromancer.
No. There's one in between it.
Yeah.
So there's the Alchemist, I can't remember. It's a red one because it goes green, red, like a purplish, black, and then a kind of like turquoise blue. So the one that I don't remember is probably like the best book. So it's the Alchemist, the one in the middle, then it's the Necromancer, and then the Sorcerer, and then there's one after.
Nice.
I have to look this up.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what they make Google for. Well, that and pornography, but
Series. No, not that one. No, not Full Metal Alchemist. This one?
Yes.
Yeah, this one. So, the magician. Okay.
Ah.
And then there's a sorcerer. Okay. Sorceress, actually. Yeah, yeah.
Warlock and an enchantress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've read up to that one.
Warlock. Haven't gotten enchantress yet.
The enchantress wasn't out when I was reading them.
Fair enough.
Because, like, I started reading the Alchemist, and then I finished it, went to the Magician, finished that one, and while I was reading the Magician, he was working on the Sorcerer, and he released that one, like, just as I finished it, but the library didn't have it yet, so I had to wait, and then, so I read it again, so I read it through the way again, and read all the way to the Sorceress, but they didn't have the Necromancer at that time, so I read it through again, read the Necromancer, but they didn't have the Warlock, so I did it again, and I didn't finish the Warlock because it was during the end of the year when I got it from the library, so, yeah. I don't know if the library actually has the Enchantress. I know that Jack has it. Jack got it, like, right when it first came out.
So worst comes to worst, you could probably...
I don't even think he would let me...
finish it.
I don't even know if Jack would let me borrow the Enchantress.
You could probably find an internet copy of it.
When he got the Necromancer, he held it with him all day. He didn't even put it in his locker. He kept it with him.
Yeah.
He was like, "Don't touch my book."
Yeah, who was it? Jordan tried to touch it? Like, just
and he
reach over and
flipped out.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Alright. Now.
Oh!
What?
Oh! I believe that's, these two books are here, The Death of Joan of Arc and Billy the Kid, the Vampire of Vegas. I believe that's actually things that are tying up the story of this.
Oh.
Because, they basically take, like, all of the people that you would expect to be, like, old and dead by now, and he puts them into the book. Like, he puts, Leonardo da Vinci, Joan of Arc, Billy the Kid, a few other people that I can't name off the top of my head exactly. And obviously, Dr. John Dee and Nicholas Flamel.
The big one, Nicholas.
Oh, yeah, the big one, obviously.
You can't do alchemist with him.
You can't do alchemy with him.
John Nick.
And they basically, like, so there's, like, what book did you get to?
I started The Alchemist, but it
didn't catch.
Yeah.
That's what I saw too with The Alchemist. It was a little bit hard to get into the story, but
it was your typical slow beginning, and it was just like, you know what? No.
But this is like a massive spoiler alert, because by the time you get to about the third book or the second book, you begin to learn that there's elders, and basically the elders are the ones that created Earth.
Yeah.
And if you have some other beliefs, you probably won't be like, okay, no, but that's the way it is in the book, okay?
Yeah, and it's nice to get that.
Yeah.
That idea.
You get that like kind of like you get that thought, and it's like really well worded, so you could actually kind of believe it, right? But basically, there's elders, and they created Earth, they created the human race, but the way Earth is, it's not actually like an actual planet. It's not like an actual universe. Basically, what it is it's portals, and you would create a portal, and then you would create a thing within that portal.
Yeah.
So basically, the person would create the gate. They would go into the gate, and they would create whatever they wanted. So they created Earth. A bunch of them created Earth, and they created the humans, and they created all that. And what they did is certain people, so for example Leonardo da Vinci, would find the elders, and they would do something for the elder, or the elder would like say, okay, you're a nice guy, and then they would gift them with immortality. So that's why Leonardo da Vinci, Joan of Arc, Billy the Kid, a few other people. Dr. John Dee. Well, he is not actually immortal yet.
Oh,
he becomes immortal later.
Yeah.
So the way that they have that was actually really quite interesting. Dr. John Dee, he stayed alive for a long period of time because of, he is actually the necromancer. He would basically keep himself alive with his powers.
Yeah.
And,
couldn't he turn himself into a leech like that then?
No.
No?
No. The only thing he could do was just kind of prolong his life. Sort of like how, Gollum does in Lord of the Rings. With the ring,
Yeah.
the ring prolonged his life. Well, that's what he would do with his powers. He would just prolong his life.
Of course, probably like Gollum. He's not. He's a shell of the man he was before.
Yes. He was actually a really good friend of Nicholas Flamel. They were partners for a while. And then, Dr. John Dee got tainted by Dark Elders. The Dark Elders are the ones that are trying to destroy the human race.
Sort of the devil of this world.
Yeah, because as many of good elders that there are that create stuff and want stuff to be alive, there's as many Dark Elders that want to destroy that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's actually more Dark Elders. I'm not 100% sure because I can't remember 100%. But so he sided and he got tainted by the people that are trying to destroy like all of humanity, and I forgot where I was going at. I lost my track.
Dr. John Dee. He's corrupted by the Dark Elders.
Yeah. And so, basically, in the Necromancer, no, the Sorceress, actually, the two kids, which they're not really of anything significant other than they have a silver and orange aura. Well, actually, it's a gold aura, but
and those are the two rarest auras, right?
Yeah, the rarest. That's the only thing that's really significant about them, is that they have the silver and gold, not their names. And so they get separated, and they're identical twins, other than the point that they're different sex, like one's male, one's female. And they get separated, and the one of them, the male, ends up... No, not yet. The female ends up having to find the sorceress, which is actually Nicholas Flamel's wife.
Oh.
Which is currently in New York on Alcatraz Island. And what they're doing in Alcatraz Island is the company that Dr. John Dee owns purchased it and cut it off. So no tourism, no nothing is allowed on the island. What they were doing is they were manifesting tons of evil creatures like Sphinx, Leviathans, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Because
nobody would think, oh, let's go to a prison.
Yeah, but it's also the fact that it's a prison. You can hold things there because there's cells already built, so just put stuff in the cells.
Prison, and no one escapes from the rock.
Oh yeah, and so basically, what Dr. John Dee did is he kidnapped Nicholas Flamel's wife, which I can't remember. It's Perennial, I believe so. It starts with a P. That's what I remember. So she gets taken to the island, and she's in a cell, in like a cell block. Actually, she's not in the same cell with a Sphinx. And what a Sphinx does, I crossed my tongue, is they basically leech off the power of magicians and sorcerers and stuff like that, like magical beings, right? And so she basically has to figure out how to get out, and she gets out, and she finds one of the elders that are actually kind of part of the manifest of evil beings. Although she's not really evil, she's being controlled. So what the sorceress does is she breaks her from the whole magic stuff, and then she gets the person on her side. So one thing that I gotta add before this is that all magical beings that are like this, they get their energy from the sun.
Okay.
So basically being stuck inside of a prison like that, So being stuck in a prison like that, you get no energy.
Yeah.
And your power actually goes down, and it dwindles.
Oh, especially in The Rock. It's dark all the time.
And you've also
don't even
got
artificial light.
Yeah, and you've also got all those magical beings that takes like energy and magical power from you. So while she's trying to get off the island, you've got Billy the Kid and his partner. They're not really on good field.
Oh.
And someone else, and it's another immortal. I don't remember the name. But all I remember from him is he's got a green aura and he smells like snakes. And he's basically controlling the island, although he doesn't really want to, because Dr. John D is basically like, screw you, you're gonna go and control the island. And so they're on the bottom of the island. They actually have no idea that the sorceress and Billy the Kid and the other guy is there. So while they're there, the sister of the twins is trying to find the sorceress, because Nicholas Flamel at this moment is dying.
Oh.
Because he lost his codex, and the codex shows the
immortality.
The potion of immortality. And because the potion of immortality isn't there, then he can't get his stuff. And the sorceress, she's more powerful than Nicholas Flamel, so she can hold herself up. She can keep herself alive for longer. But the one thing that ended up happening in The Magician is they were trying to get the sister to learn more about her power of a gold aura, right? No,
so what exactly
she's got silver.
Is the silver and the gold aura? Like, I know they're the most rare, but your aura tells about your personality.
Basically, well, not really with this. Basically, what they did with the auras, well, what he did, because it's only one person that made the book, is how they're like an alchemist, right? They took like their personality and put it into that for the specific people. But for the sister and brother, they didn't really have anything special. They just have the auras. Basically, the aura is what your power is and how
strong your alchemic potential is.
Yeah. So, silver and gold, they're the strongest, but they're the hardest to master.
Are they equal in power then, or?
Basically, silver is more of a defensive aura, and gold is more of a offensive aura. So basically, the cold colors, so like green, red, blue, those kind of colors, those are the defensive auras. The
hot colors.
Hot colors, so yellow,
Orange.
Dark green, orange, well, not dark green, light green, yellow, stuff like that, is the offensive auras. So, really, they kind of balance each other out, but there isn't really much of, like, a stronger or weaker aura, either than black and white. Black and white kind of
signify good and bad.
Mostly the elders have black and whites, but the elders don't really have the power from their aura. They're mostly just because they have so much knowledge that they know how to combat you in such way, right?
Yeah.
So basically, earlier, what happened with Nicholas Flamel, while they're trying to find knowledge for the sister with the silver aura, is they find this one woman inside of another realm, basically sort of like how Earth is, right? But she created it herself, just for herself. She created her own race, not as effective as humans, although that's kind of biased, but she created her own race, she created her own house, all that kind of stuff, just to be kind of away. She doesn't want to be known. No one really knows that she's there. And so she's like the keeper of knowledge. She lives in like a big tree and has a house in the tree. And she has a silver aura as well. So what they had to do is, while they're in the house, they had to fuel a skull, a crystal skull, with magical power in order to feed the knowledge from the girl to the sister.
Yeah.
So Nicholas Flamel grabs onto the skull, already weakened, grabs onto the skull and allows it to feed off the power of Nicholas Flamel. In the process, it almost kills him. But also, while that's happening, outside, Dr. John Dee is attacking the realm. So he comes by with his car and he starts like running over the guardians of the realm and kills the tree and kills the person, and they have to flee. And I don't think... No, this is actually... Yeah. So, just when this is happening, Dr. John Dee talks to the brother, and he persuades the brother to come with them.
Yeah.
So he's like, you have so much more potential. Nicholas Flamel and Pernell Flamel, I'm almost 100% sure that it's Pernell, are lying to you. And he's trying to make them seem like the bad guys, although they're definitely not.
Yeah.
And he's like, they're going to get you killed, although Dr. John Dee ultimately is trying to kill the guy with the golden aura. So, while they're doing that, like, this is before they're separated and the sorceress is at the Alcatraz. And, so, while they're there, while the, what's his nuts? The guy with the golden aura is with Dr. John Dee. Like, they separate, right?
Yeah.
And they, go in their opposite directions. Nicholas Flamel's, like, dying, right? And, they're driving away, and that's, like, the ending of that, for that part. And then, with the brother, he's at the company in the one city of New York, right?
Yeah.
And while he's there, Dr. John Dee is trying to summon another one of the things that he wants to hold in Alcatraz. And while they're summoning it, it's like a god from the Mayans. It's the god of war from the Mayans, and she's really intense in battle and stuff like that. And while she's being summoned, she has to take a sacrifice, but that sacrifice is the person that summons her. So while she's summoning, the brothers actually manipulated into summoning them. And she basically, to him, looks like absolutely beautiful. But to Dr. John Dee, that's watching this happen, not the most beautiful. And while that's happening, the sister finds Pernell inside of the Alcatraz, takes her off the island, goes over, and, like, we know where my brother is, right? So then they go to the building, and they find the brother, and they stop the summoning, thank God, because if they didn't, then bad stuff.
Guy's dead, and the world ends.
Yeah, because basically what they were going to do with the island is, once all of the creatures got to, like, full power and stuff, they were going to wait till all the good elders are in New York. Then they're going to unleash all those creatures that none of our humanly weapons can kill. Only the good elders can do it, right? Well, only the good and bad elders can do it. And so, but what they were going to do with that is they were going to cause the extinction of human beings.
Yeah.
And then what they were going to do after that, because, like, I don't even know why I was explaining it like this earlier, because it would have been way better and way easier. They were going to cause the extinction and then bring back the way that their world was.
Oh.
So
what's John Dee's, like, reward in destroying a human being? Because he is a human.
Yeah. Just gonna wait till this goes. And then So the reward that Dr. John D gets is his immortality.
Oh.
Because at the moment he doesn't have immortality.
Yeah.
He's just a pawn in it to get his immortality. Because either you can work for your immortality, or the Elder likes you, or the Elder is dying and wants you to be their, like, embodiment or replacement. So the reason why they're wanting the rebirth of their old world, right? Because basically they were going to do, they were going to pull the their old world. Because basically how it is there's like ley lines, different timelines going along the world. So this timeline that we're in right now is the one where all this stuff is happening, but the other timeline is the one where they're, like, the Elder world is, right? And it's still going on. So basically you've got the timeline of this, timeline of that, timeline of this, something else, right? So the group of people, including the sister, they go back in time, although it's not technically back in time because they go into a different timeline.
Yeah.
To stop the pull of that world shifting and taking over our world. It's basically like how Transformers Dark of the Moon is, right?
Yeah.
Where they set up that thing and they're trying to pull the home of the not the Optimus, the robots. I don't remember the robot's name. They're trying to feed this world with this world and put them together and
then they'll
revive the world.
Cybertron,
so basically,
Earth.
That's what they're trying to do in the book.
Yeah.
They're trying to kill off all the humans and then recreate their world. And that's as far as I got.
Alright, so long and short. Dr. John D teaches us that corporations are bad, and buy Michael Scott's series, The Alchemist. You'll love it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, well, he's got your money now, so, oh well, he's laughing.
Yeah. It was really good, actually. It was a really enjoyable series. And it was like just a massive spoiler alert.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed the book, you've read the book, and don't plan on reading it. Or you've heard it and said, you know what, that's amazing, I want to read it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite show right now. It's about god princesses.
God princesses.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is.
What's it called?
It's called My Little Pony: Friendship is Fashion.
I knew you were gonna do that. I knew it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any bronies out there, bro huff. You're welcome. Bro huff it. You know you want to.
That's just like the one thing I see cycling around on the internet. I'm watching a movie about a father that loses his wife and his son gets abducted.
Oh, yes.
And he's traveling with a handicapped, well, not a handicap, I don't remember what the wording is exactly, but I'll just say handicap just to be, to save time. A handicapped woman to find his abducted son. And it's like, oh, really, what movie is it? Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
First time I read that, I found it really funny.
And then there's that whole thing with Star Wars. It's fairly old now. Corn was showing it to me. He found it on Reddit, and it's fairly old now. But and it's going through Star Wars, like step by step. And it's pretty clever. It's talking about how it's this guy who was at a party. He fell in love with his sister. He kisses his sister, and then he finds out that it's all Star Wars. It's pretty clever.
Yeah, I actually never really figured that out when I was younger watching the Star Wars series, that he falls in love with his sister. I was like, what was I watching when I was a child?
Of course, he didn't know.
Yeah, he didn't know
to
at that
defend Luke.
Yeah, he didn't know at that time.
But it's still kind of weird.
That's, I forget what the word is.
Incest?
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say. it's a party when it's with the family.
Oh yeah, sort of like how it is in the Game of Thrones. Except for
twincest.
Yeah, and they create a monopoly by doing it.
Nice. Haven't really gotten into Game of Thrones. It's a little too out there for me.
Well, basically what they do is the incest happens, right? And
Yeah.
they take their family. Like the one guy is married to the one girl that is in the incest, and that family that the girl is from, the Lannisters, they basically take over the other family.
Oh.
So, like, basically the Lannisters, they're the most powerful, they have the biggest army, blah blah blah. They take over the other family, not like completely take it over. They only kill the main head of the lord. They kill the lord and take over mostly all the money and all the house and all that stuff. And they just create a monopoly. They put their son on the crown and all that kind of stuff, even though the son isn't supposed to be on the crown.
Yeah, Game of Thrones is one of those nice little geeky things that I want to watch, but at the same time it's a little too
Yeah.
sexual for me.
Yeah. That's the only reason why a lot of people are watching it, is because of the sexual innuendo.
Yeah.
Which makes things sell.
Oh, yeah, so it sells. No one can argue that, does
Oh, yeah.
it?
Yeah, sex sells.
Yeah.
If someone argues it, then obviously they have never watched television.
Oh, yeah. Like, HBO. People love HBO, and sex definitely sells for HBO 100%.
Like in the old Conan Barbarian,
Yeah.
there was lots of it on there.
Oh, yeah. And then, like, beer commercials and all that. Like, a
yeah.
lot of them I hear have, like, the beer is made up of a little bunch of small colored pictures of, like, naked women and stuff.
Mm.
And then you can subconsciously realize that, I hear. And then you're drinking the beer, and you're like, I like this beer, but it's because of the naked women.
Supposedly they did a lot of that with old Disney movies, too.
Oh, yeah? And then I heard, like, sex in Lion King Clouds, and then also the Lion King picture is like the nose and all that. It makes like a naked woman.
Yeah, like I've heard stuff like that too, but
Yeah.
I'm not really like sure it would really work like that, because if you've never, as a child, seen that, then how would you know?
Exactly.
Like, you would only see it unless you knew about it before.
True. But I guess I hear it's one of those things that they're throwing for the parents' benefit. That way they can watch it and go, like, have you ever watched any of those, like, old Disney movies? Some of them are really messed up.
Oh, yeah. Like, when you're a little kid, you don't even really realize
you're
it.
You're a little kid and you're like, oh, it's a Disney movie. Yay.
Pretty princess.
And then you watch it again and you're like, that is the most fucked up thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I was never really into Disney movies. I was mostly, like, into the just running around outside playing with stuff, or Winnie the Pooh. One of those
Winnie
things.
the Pooh is shit.
I know, right?
Oh.
But when you watch Winnie the Pooh now, you realize it's just a person with a psychological disorder tripping out.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Honest.
Just like, I tried watching some new Pokemon episodes, like the newer series. It's complete garbage.
No. I don't even want to watch it anymore.
No. I used to love Pokemon.
Yeah, the older ones were great.
Yeah.
Although I thought they were a little bit too dumbed down.
Yeah, they were definitely intended for children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, I would like it a little bit more if they didn't, like, quite... They made it more for, like, a broad audience instead of straight for a specific audience.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm sort of watching it now. I plan on watching it again, because they put it on Netflix. They put the Indigo series on Netflix. And, like, I'm sort of not wanting to, because of how dumbed down it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a great child show.
Yeah.
But...
Like Franklin.
Oh.
I loved that when I was younger.
Oh, yeah, like, my boss's kids, I was babysitting for them the one time. Children's shows are so boring and dry. And like the new Franklin, it sounded to me like it was the exact same voice actors and everything. They just took it and claymated it.
Yeah, they ruined the animations of it.
Yeah,
horribly.
Like they took their drawings and then they just relayed the. They just redubbed the new.
Yep.
Claymation version. That's what it sounded like to me, at least, because all the voice actors sound the same.
Like they changed the way Franklin looks. They changed the way like everything looks.
Yeah.
It's like it's not even the same anymore. Like I tried to watch it one time when I was over at a friend's house, and they was like, "Oh, Franklin." So I was like, "What, Franklin?" Because when I was younger, I never missed an episode. I watched it every day.
Yeah, Franklin was amazing.
Yeah, and then now it's just like I watched this as a kid.
Yeah, it's like my parents let me watch this.
Yeah. The one thing that I really loved when I was growing up too is that the while I grew up, the channels never changed.
Yes.
But the thing that was being broadcast on that channel changed.
Yeah.
So like, because for me it was always Channel 20. Channel 20 was always TV for me. So, little kid, level 20. Well, not level 20. Why would I say level 20? It's my gaming mode. Channel 20, the Treehouse.
Yeah.
And then, like, grow up a little bit more. Channel 20, YTV.
Yeah.
And then grow up a little bit more. Channel 20, Teletoon. And when I was younger, I never realized it. And then when I grew up, I was like, I was almost being, like, mind controlled. Because it was like, it was changing automatically, even though, like, I wasn't doing it, my parents weren't doing it. They just did it through the system. They were like, okay, so we know that the generation that's watching these TV shows are going to be older now, so let's put it there. And, like, let's just move this channel over here and then put that one there.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's amazing how much Canada watches TV, because we're actually one of the, I think per capita, we watch the largest TV out of any.
Yeah. Well, when you're sucking back on your maple syrup, bad idea. I tried that once. Disgusting.
Oh my god, I know.
And it was Co-op brand.
Oh,
no sugar
President's
added
Choice.
or something. And I'm just chugging it back. I get halfway through the bottle and I almost throw up. And I'm like, that's enough Canadianism for me today. Also, I walked a total of 18 kilometers just to get me some Timmy's coffee.
You walked?
In Saskatchewan. We were
Saskatchewan.
We were outside of Regina. We were east of Regina, about 10 kilometers east.
Yeah.
2 nights in a row. I walked 9 kilometers to get to Tim Hortons, which was just outside of Regina. It was between Regina and White City or something, which is, I believe, east of Regina.
You know you want Timmy's when.
Oh, I loved it. We were at this camp place, right? And then I'm walking along with Justice and Dylan, and Justice is trying to wheel this one girl, so he's having me sing to her.
Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah, I know.
How does that work?
I know. It was a weird logic.
Yeah.
And then we walked to this one place. They were saying that there was firewood, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we walk out to get the firewood. They say it was just down the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, okay, we're not going to drive if it's just down the road. We walk. I think it was 4 kilometers down the road. And then we had to walk 4 kilometers down the road to get back to the campsite, lugging back the bags of...
Yeah.
I had 4 of these bags, and walking 4 kilometers with 4 bags of wood isn't
and like each
fun.
bag of wood is probably about like 10 pounds.
Yeah, I had 2 for each hand, and by the end of it, they were over my shoulder for sure.
Yeah. Like, I've had my fair share of having to move around wood.
Oh, yeah.
Funny story with that, actually.
Funny story about handling wood, or?
Not that kind of wood.
Oh, well, that's the wood I was using. Rubbing the sticks together?
Well, like, me and my dad, we would go and cut trees down and buck up firewood, right?
Yeah.
Well, for a Christmas present for my dad, he got a bunch of firewood Like, my
Yeah.
grandpa and my uncle, they went out and they cut a bunch of wood and they de-limbed it and stuff. They didn't actually, like, chop it down and stuff, right? So they drop it off at my dad's work where there's, like, a big field there. So they put it down there, and then, like, snow falls, because it's December, right?
Yeah.
So snow falls, and you know Canadian winter, right? So
yeah.
snow falls.
It's winter out now. It's March.
Snow falls, warms up a little bit, melts. Snow falls, warms up a little bit, melts. And then it becomes, like, ice, and then snow.
Yeah.
So we had to unearth the trees from, like, 3 feet of snow, right? 3-4 feet of snow. And so we took, well, I took, because I was doing most of the heavy lifting and stuff, but
That's
took
what kids are for.
one of the smaller sticks, like, it was, like, about the same length, right, but it was thinner.
Yeah.
So I could actually, like, put it in underneath and pry it out, because it was frozen in the ground, right? So the one time, we were on the bottom row, like, we were almost done for the day, right? And I've got one stuck in there, and I've got a fulcrum set up so that I can pull on it, right? Well, while I'm pulling on it, like, I was like, okay, this one's really in there. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put all my weight on it. Well, so I'm holding on to it, both my hands over top of my head, and I can't touch the ground when I'm like this. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll just pull, and I'll use my weight, right? It slips, and all of my weight right in the top of my head. So I get hit in the top of the head, right? After it, I stand there like, oh, and then I fall over and I'm knocked out, unconscious, and like the last thing I see is just looking at the ground, and like I think I was out for like about 2 seconds, and like I instantly got up after I was like falling over, because it was falling, blackout, wake up, fall over, completely blackout, and then I get up, because obviously I'm gonna get up, because the way your body is falling down is actually the reset.
Yeah.
So I wake up and I look around like really quickly. I'm like, what happened? What went on? Because like I sort of forgot at that time what happened. Literally,
yeah.
Like, all I remembered was I fell. That was it. So I'm standing up and just looking around. My dad looks at me. He's like his face is all like just bewildered, like just looking at me. He's like, "You all right?" "Oh yeah, I'm never better. I feel great now." Like, but for some reason, like, I felt absolutely great. Like, I've never had that same feeling ever. So basically, if you want to feel good, knock yourself out.
I agree. Like, I got knocked out once too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, every time we go to my grandma's house, we do this thing where we got all the pillows from the basement, because she lived in a trailer that got converted into a house,
Mm-hmm.
and so it had a basement, and we get all the pillows and blankets and everything from the basement set up right below the stairs, and we would jump down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And we would lie on the pillows, and it would be fun, exciting, and cool, right?
Yeah.
And then the one day we were visiting for supper, and then we had to leave in like 20 minutes, so my sisters and I were like, okay, let's quickly. So we set it all up, then we were jumping down the stairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're jumping, and I'm like, I've got the balls here, so I will jump from the top. It wasn't quite the top, it was like halfway up, but there was this like low level, like thick 3 inches of steel girder,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm jumping, right? Smack my head right into it, I guess I ragdolled down the stairs onto the pillows and blankets and just laid there for a good 2.5 hours.
Oh my god.
And my mom was right there as soon as I woke up, right? And I had no idea what happened. And I was at home all of a sudden, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just got so fucking scared because I was at Grandma's and now I'm at home. And I have no idea what's happened to me.
Because all you know is that black.
Yeah.
Awake.
It was like I closed my eyes. It was the best sleep I've ever had. I closed my eyes, opened them, I'm in a different building.
Yeah, yeah.
It was trippy as balls.
Oh yeah, probably. Especially being a little kid when you do that too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. That was insane. I never want that again.
But you probably felt pretty good after.
Oh, I felt like a champion.
Oh yeah. For like $1 million.
Well, there was $1 million something.
I don't really know why you'd feel so good after being knocked out, though. Like,
Well, I guess it's like the best sleep because it forces you to be like completely.
well, it could
asleep.
be the fact that you don't feel pain
Yeah.
from it. Like,
Also, I think your body's completely shut down, and it's just your brain that's doing stuff.
yeah,
And I think your brain shuts down temporarily too.
it's probably just like, when you have, like an old Nintendo Game Boy or something.
Yeah.
Like one day you drop it and it sort of stops working for a little bit, but it's not like 100% stopped working. Like you can still see on the screen that your game's running, but you can't do anything. It's probably just the exact same thing as that.
Yeah. And it's probably similar to like how, like when you're sleeping, your
Mhm.
body shuts down, but your brain is still going.
Yeah.
And as I said, I think your brain kind of partially shuts down. Like it only has what you need.
Your brain
running.
just goes like, "What the hell was
Yeah.
that?"
Yeah, your brain it puts energy to what you need to remember and what you need to know. Those
Mhm.
parts of your brain are at full cylinders, but the rest of them are like sleeping. Which, of course, if you are unconscious for too long, you get mental handicaps.
Like amnesia and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I don't think I forgot anything. Thank God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, I was young at the time, so all the stuff I knew was the basics to human functions. So imagine if I forgot, like, how to speak or something.
That's
Like,
actually
right
happened.
now, yeah. Like, right now I wouldn't be able to talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'd have forgotten how to speak, and I'd still be at, like, a 3rd grade reading level or
Oh
something.
yeah,
like
probably.
That would suck. And it, like you said, it's happened to people in the past.
Oh yeah, like the one book that we were reading. I don't remember what it was, but it was a kid and a guy. They're stranded on an island, and the kid, he gets hit in the head and he loses his vision.
Oh, yeah, we read that for school. And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, Toby or whatever.
I don't.
Black Servant.
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But they live on the island for a while, and he like does all this stuff, and he actually figures out how to survive all blind. And then while they're getting saved off the island, obviously because of it being like a book, he gets his vision back.
Yeah. But no, that was like during World War II, and he was like in some South American country on a cruise, and a German U-boat blows it up.
Yeah.
Him and a servant got stranded on a desert island. But I can't remember that book. That was a good book. That
I don't
was
remember
grade 8,
that.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
I
grade 8.
vaguely remember the
Grade 8.
book. Yeah, I vaguely remember the book.
I remember the book. I just don't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Which was like it would actually be a nice read
Yeah.
now. Like even after reading it in school, reading it again would still be great. But the name of it, nope.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like me, I love literature, like Shakespeare.
Mhm.
Love reading Shakespeare. I don't always understand it.
From reading Shakespeare, like this is just my opinion, really. I think that he's a little bit exaggerated.
Oh, yeah, he exaggerates stuff. Also,
But, like,
he is a pervert. Like, holy...
I always can't remember this word whenever I try and use it. Over
Over the top, or...
no. Over it's like when you go and watch a movie and your friends are telling you like it's really good,
Oh, overhyped?
sort of, yeah. It's over exaggerated. No, over exaggerated is the wrong word, because over exaggerated means that you
Yeah.
say stuff but you say it in a different way to make it seem like you're
It's
popping
more
it
than
back.
what it actually is, yeah.
Yeah. So like you go and watch a movie that your friends tell you is really good, but when you watch it, it's like this isn't
it's
very
like,
good.
that wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen, I suppose.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I read Shakespeare. It's like people are just telling me it's good, and like I don't really see why it should be.
For me, why I like Shakespeare is I can read Shakespeare 20 times, and I still don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But The 20th time I've read him, I know what he's talking about a lot more than the first time. And when you look at some of the parables that he uses in his literature, it's like, holy fuck.
Which, like, knowing that, like when we did Shakespeare in grade 11, right?
Yeah.
Reading it, I was like, why are they teaching this? Like, it's hard to understand already.
Very.
Then why are you teaching it in classes? Like,
yeah, like, this isn't how people speak English today.
This isn't teaching us anything. All it is just showing us something.
Yeah.
You're just putting something in our face saying, read it! Not going like, okay, read this a few times, learn from it.
Yeah.
That's not really how people
That's
work.
what I like about Brenton, though, is she goes through it with you to make sure that you understand it.
Yeah.
Because you can't blame your teachers because their job sucks. Because really the teachers are told, this is what you're doing. Sorry if you don't like it. Actually, I'm not sorry.
Yeah. Which is what the teachers do to you as well.
Yeah. Well, the teachers don't have a choice because they're told you get two choices. Get a paycheck or don't get a paycheck.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me. Your choice.
Like, but a lot of teachers, they just kind of like, okay, this is what you got to do.
Yeah,
and
a
drop
lot of
it on
teachers,
you.
they don't care.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that shouldn't be teachers that get to be teachers, and then there's a lot of people that if our education system was designed better, they would make fantastic teachers.
Did you know that if our school system in Canada, well, I should say education system, to be 100% correct, if it was funded as well as our federal prison system,
one teacher per student,
it would be 1 for 1.
Yep.
One student per one teacher.
Yeah. Also, the stress on students nowadays is parallel to the stress on people in insane asylums in the 50s.
I know, right?
And insane asylums in the 50s were designed to keep crazy people crazy and sane people crazy. That way they could get money from the government to fund them.
Because back then it was a new study. Not many people understood it, so then they were like,
we don't have crazy asylums anymore. Yeah, we have places where crazy people go to help themselves get better, but it's not a crazy asylum where we just house and torture crazy people.
I saw this a really good graph a few days ago on Reddit.
Oh yeah?
And it showed the happiness levels of students from different countries.
And I'm going to guarantee that Scandinavian countries were near the top, if not at the top.
There's the picture. It's very bad quality, actually. Oh, okay, there you go. Well, actually, you'd be kind of surprised with a lot of the stuff. There.
Alright, so worst test scores and best test scores, and unhappy and happy. So Singapore looks like it takes the cake.
Shanghai, actually.
Shanghai?
Shanghai is the top.
Oh, okay.
But
isn't this side the happiest and this side the unhappiest?
But,
or?
like, if you want, like, ultimately for everything, Shanghai is the top.
Yeah.
But for best test scores and best happiness, Singapore.
It's definitely in that nice little basket right there.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Where it's like these people are super happy, super good grades. And then what are some of these other ones? China. Oh, really? You'd think from like propaganda and all that they'd be fairly there.
Yeah.
Where Korea actually is.
United States.
Oh, Finland is in that little basket of best test scores but unhappy. Oh wow.
Yeah, and the United States, really bad test scores and really unhappy.
God. Where's Canada on that little nice list?
Canada is right there.
Oh, so we get good test scores, but we're not that happy. We're close. We're close to that center line of we don't really give a fuck, but we're slightly at the unhappy part.
Yeah. I would expect Sweden to be a little higher up there because Sweden has one of the highest costs of living. It's got the lowest death rate in like hospitals and stuff. It's got like the best
Also, I believe that Sweden that recently they said that their colleges are open to absolutely everybody. And when I say absolutely everybody, I mean like it doesn't matter if I am born and raised in South Africa. I can go to